Jackson Radio Show.
Rex Tillerson is gone like a turkey through the cone. Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here, KJRadio.com. Tillerson's gone. And look, the media, oh, Tillerson's gone. We predicted it, because that's the first thing they're going to tell you. And, people, he's unhappy, whatever, fine. Then they're going to tell you, Donald Trump's got lots of turnover. It's horrible over there. People are wanting to quit. Let me tell you something. Donald Trump got turnover. There's going to be a lot more turnover. And good. You don't get to rest on your laurels. You better be good at what you do or you can be gone. I like that. Kim Jong-un tweeted essentially a threat to the President of the United States. You want to know why? Because Rex Tillerson hadn't done his job properly. Trump set it up. Different America. America first, blah, blah, blah. We will kick your butt. And Rex Tillerson's like, well, I need to be a diplomat over here. I'm not really sure, this, that, and the other. You know what? One of the things that was kind of the writing on the wall for Tillerson, too, you may not know this. The left kind of looked at him as like, oh, he's pretty good. His foreign policy was amazing. He had a meeting where the Russians ended up walking out. And Tillerson said something like, I really don't know what to do about it. He goes, look, I'm no diplomat. And they were like, it's brave of him to say that. They knew that Tillerson wasn't competent enough to handle the role. Tillerson was admitting, look, I'm no diplomat. I'm still figuring this out. I'm still getting my sea legs. But Politico wrote this very flowery article about Tillerson, knowing that he wasn't prepared. And Trump got it. He brought these people on because he thought, you know what, they can help. And guess what? Tillerson's a very accomplished man. In his milieu, he's an amazing dude. But outside of it, not so much. Don't be shocked by that, everybody. So when Kim Jong-un tweeted that, Tillerson should have been firing back, ready to go. But instead, the man had to jump in, Donald Trump, and he's going, look, I pay you people to keep the stuff off my desk. Keep it clear. So I can stay focused on the bigger picture, which is these stupid leftists. Show Tillerson is weak. In August of last year, Axios, who the CEO of that company hates Trump, but he says there's a ticking problem with Rex Tillerson and it's growing louder by the day, according to officials inside and close to the White House. President Trump has been growing increasingly frustrated with his Secretary of State. One time recently, after Trump had returned from a meeting on Afghanistan, a source recalled Trump saying, Rex just doesn't get it. He's totally establishment in his thinking. Now, I talked about this earlier. Tillerson, in as powerful as a position that he was running ExxonMobil, the problem he had is he was always being told what to do. It's a big company. They bring a lot of revenue all around the world and so on and so forth, but he's still at the behest of these world leaders. Many times it's dictators. It's bad people. Look, I've been over in many of these countries, and you're dealing with them is not easy. When you talk to the boards and the CEOs, they're like, yeah, but we got to deal with, the tribal warfare here, and this guy may be deposed or dethroned, and he's looking for optics of this and that, and there's kickbacks and payola and things that you'd be like, what? That's not what they taught in Harvard Business School. Huh? Nope. That's right, Dorothy, you're not in Kansas anymore. So Tillerson was still looking at things from this industry point of view that didn't rely on his ability as a CEO. I mean, Trump had the same issues. He's like, I want to build a resort and you're on your thing. And they'd give him grief and Trump would be like, okay, fine, I'll build in another country. ExxonMobil, gas is gas. Oil is oil. Either it's there or it isn't. Can I build a facility on your land or no? What's it going to cost? What are going to be the concessions? Tillerson was used to getting told what to do, even though he's a powerful guy. But there was another thing that made Tillerson get on Donald Trump's radar, and it had to do with Charlottesville. Axios continues. They say, Tillerson's jaw-dropping comments on TV will likely only worsen their relationship. This is on a particular day. It says, Fox News Sunday moderator Chris Wallace asked Tillerson about Trump's response to the racist carnage in Charlottesville. Racist carnage. I'll leave that alone. Tillerson replied, I don't believe anyone doubts the American people's values or the commitment of the American government or the government agencies to advancing those values and defending those values. Wallace asked the obvious follow-up question. And the president's values? The president speaks for himself, Tillerson said. Wallace looked stunned. Well, he was stunned, and he should have been, because this was Tillerson's opportunity to back the president on national TV, and he bagged it. He bagged it. The president speaks for himself. What a stupid thing to say. All Tillerson had to say was, who do you think represents the government? I just told you, this government is not about that. You know, we don't advance those values. So that's all he had to say. I don't know whether he was, I don't know, who knows? But it's that alone, and I know how, just understanding Trump the way I do, and I'm not saying that it's because I know him and I'm spooning with him or anything. It's just knowing what he thinks. He's got to be thinking, what a stupid thing to say. Of course I don't share those values. Everybody in this administration should, at the very least, come to the aid of, not that Trump needs the aid, but should certainly validate what they know about me. That's just silly. The man who would negotiate on behalf of America, ergo the President of the United States with the rest of the world, couldn't manage to back Donald Trump on a question of American values to Chris Wallace of Fox News? Are you kidding? No wonder, Donald Trump was looking at himself going, why did I bring this clown on? So ask yourself this question. With all that's transpired in the world on foreign policy of the United States, I'm talking about Iran with all of the things that are going on over there, the protests and what have you, with what's happening in Italy with the new vote, with what happened with Brexit, which of course was a little bit before, but certainly follow on that, what's going on in Sweden, what's going on with the Middle East in general, certainly what's going on in the Far East with China, Japan, and the tariffs and all these other issues. You hear anything about Tillerson? Tillerson has a man handing him foreign policy exploits, and you barely hear Tillerson's name mentioned in any of these massive accomplishments by the Obama administration. You barely hear. In fact, Tillerson returned from Africa, supposedly, get this, to fix issues related to Trump's crap hole comments months ago. What? Are you kidding? There's no reason for Tillerson to go to Africa and say, let me help fix, let's help you, fix your bruised egos. Use the U.S. economy to whip countries into shape, period. Remind those countries who brings more aid and more opportunities to them than the rest of the world combined. Remind them of where their citizens want to come to live and so on and so forth. America needs a Secretary of Warrior to represent the Secretary of State. And Trump doesn't abide by those who timidly approach representing America. Represent this country and do it proudly. But Tillerson, as I said, it's almost like you don't even know he's there. You're trying. Like I said, we've had many foreign policy exploits, and he is the marketing arm of America. And you hear nothing. Donald Trump, anybody remember the first thing Donald Trump did? He bombed the living daylights out of, I believe it was ISIS, and he bombed them in Syria or somewhere. He was like, I don't care whose territory it is. If I know ISIS is there, boom, I'm going to drop the bomb on you. And I think it was the mother of all bombs is what he dropped at the time. So he did that. Some fanfare, but not enough. And then you look at, okay, I'll give you a good example. Donald Trump says, hey, we're going to be shipping beef to China. We hadn't shipped beef to China in more than a decade. Not much. No hoopla. Tillerson is supposed to be your cheerleader, man. Donald, he's our man. If he can't do it, nobody can. and he's persona. He's pretty much nowhere to be found. Donald Trump goes and gets this huge deal back from, this deal from Saudi Arabia. That big arms agreement, nothing. Same thing with Qatar. We just sold a bunch of stuff to Qatar, and they're going, well, Qatar was undermining Donald Trump. Donald Trump's like, I don't care what that little country does. They're going to buy $50 billion worth of more armaments. I don't care what they do. Doesn't bother me. Psst. But my point is, Tillerson is supposed to be talking about the wins that we're having all over the country. Israel, moving Jerusalem, moving the, on us saying that's where the capital is in Jerusalem, and all the things that go with that. Moving the embassy moving London, and on and on and on. Nothing. We can't gin up any media because Tillerson's one of these guys that likes to keep himself under the radar, because that's what he did at Exxon. He didn't go around bragging about things. Trump needed a different type of character, and now he's got it. Pompeo.
Kevin Jackson
on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177, or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.